You represent the ruin of my art and my life. And now you get to be part of it. Part of what I hope is my masterpiece.
Welcome to the first video of the menu review. We're going to explore the ingredients, also known as the characters. For those of you who didn't see the first video, we're going to go over why the characters are perfectly designed for this story. The best stories are full of subtext, and this movie manages to use just about every element to complement the story itself. A lot of reviews use a social economic lens, which is definitely present, but these diners were chosen for the harm that they'd cause to the culinary art scene. The chef would have chosen them for their specific offense, so I'm reviewing them through that lens. I'm also going to include which food type I think they represent, just for fun. I'm not arguing that the writers had these specific foods in mind as symbolic. The groups dining represent the different types of people who have ruined the art for chef. For the sake of brevity with the movie, the groups represent a general type of person. They do have unique situations going on in their life to round out the characters and make them feel more realistic. For the sake of our analysis, though, we're going to stick with the general representations. We're going to begin with the poser. I see him as the fat. He offers nothing satisfying about the art because he knows so little. He knows so little about the arts, and that's why he's willing to die just to be a part of it for one night.
I wanted to experience your food, chef.
And what were you told?
That everyone would die.
And the fact that he's willing to go to these lengths and not learn, go to school, actually do something that will allow him entry into the culture. But nope, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even know why he needed to belong so bad, but still couldn't be bothered to put in the time and energy. The reason for his obsession lies elsewhere, and based on his decision to come to this event, I wouldn't be surprised if his obsession was subconscious. The fact that he loves this art enough to put on airs, but not enough to learn even a little bit, proves his uselessness. The common man. I see these guys as the meat. They're hearty and filling, but ultimately tough. To be properly enjoyed, the meat needs to be tenderized.
No.
Did you say no?
I said no, yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
These men prove to be tough, demanding bread when all other guests are happy to be insulted. These men don't see it as an insult, though. They are in no way, shape, or form interested in the actual art. They enjoy the service, the excellent treatment expected in such environments, and that money can buy. And while they offer money in exchange for the atmosphere of the art, their demands on the art makes the exchange questionable at best. The chef is particularly annoyed with this type because they allow the chef to practice his art, but they also compromise the art itself. Meat is an important protein, but can be difficult to work with. The picky critic. I think of starchiness when I think of this character because of her desire to stick to a specific artistic view. She's too picky about the presentation of the food and ignores the true focus, the taste.
Neediness to the plating, it's been too easy to fuck.
I will say that this emulsion does look slightly split.
You really shouldn't see that in a restaurant of this quality.
In the culinary arts, the visual artistic flair is supposed to enhance the experience, not overtake it or replace it. The restaurants that were shut down is likely seen by the chef as a great insult, since the reason behind the critic's harsh view is a misunderstanding of what should be the most important in this particular field. Her pickiness also has the effect of pushing chefs in an unnecessary way. The chefs shouldn't be overly focused on presentation. The taker. I think bread. I was thinking dessert because of empty calories, but that really does seem to fit the actor best. So for this businessman, he sees what he wants and he takes it, like a greedy piece of bread sopping up juice. When he's asked about the last meal he ate, it's to show how little he knows and cares about the actual art. He's more interested in his own pleasure.
You don't think so?
She's nothing like her, Claire.
That same faraway face.
Can we not obsess, please?
His wife shares his fate and general characteristics because she accepts his nonsense for her own reasons. The actor, I see him as dessert because of the empty calories. He serves to show hollowness beneath a polished, so to speak, exterior.
Dumb part, bad script. Fun shoot, though.
What happens to an artist when he loses his purpose? It's pitiful.
No, you're right.
He's not as famous as he likes to believe, but it's his delusion that allows the emptiness to exist. The mother, Garnish. She doesn't really add anything to the movie. In fact, I only remember her having one line.
The handsome boy.
She's more of an extra little oomph that isn't necessary, but it adds a nice touch. Without her, the chef is a monster. With her, the chef is the type of monster who would take his own mother out. Still a monster, but with a little oomph. The protagonist. She is the substitute. I don't really have a food type or anything like that. I mean, she didn't ruin the arts for the chef. She's someone who wasn't supposed to be there.
Please don't smoke, it'll kill your palate.
Then my palate will die happy.
And I'm going to assume the missing girl is also fat like the guy. I assume this because I'm pretty sure Chef sending Margot out for the barrel was supposed to be the poser's date. And the setup was supposed to be the date dying at the hands of Elsa. Based on what happened with Margot, it really seems like both the poser and his date were supposed to die before getting to the grand finale. They offered so little to the arts that it was pointless to even use them in the end. They do represent like cutting them out. As I stated before, the story is the recipe, so he represents that fat. He is still a part of the art. But his specific part is to show how useless he is for the final product, if that makes sense. So these complementary elements don't have to create a one-to-one comparison. The people are distinct for their particular offense to the arts, as far as the writing is concerned. The chef just treats them like food, and it's that treatment that adds the complementary touch to the characters. By doing it lightly like this, the characters can complement the story without changing the tone. In other words, it's a subtle touch that allows this to be a dark comedy rather than a slapstick. Also for fun, comment below your thoughts on my suggestions on which food type each group represented. Agree or disagree, please let us know why. If you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.